Hello student, welcome back to our MSc First Physics Classical Mechanics course, and in our previous video we have covered all concepts, and in this video we have to start with our first chapter of our course, that is Analytical Dynamics, and this chapter is for 2 credits. Our course is for 4 credit, and out of 4 credit the 2 credit goes to the first chapter, and the analytical dynamics must include the Lagrangian and Hamiltonian dynamics, canonical transformation and Poisson brackets. So these all are the different parts which must be included in our first chapter, that is in the analytical dynamics, and the first point of our first chapter is nothing but the variational principle. So let's start with the variational principle. First of all, what do you mean by the variational principle? Variational principle is one of the part of the calculus, and here we find the curve for the given line integral with the help of variational principle. So the variational principle is nothing but the calculus of variation where the fundamental problem is to find the curve for which a given line integral as a stationary or extreme value. So this is the variational principle. Variational principle is nothing but the calculus of variation where the fundamental problems, we have different fundamental problems in physics, and with the help of variational principle we are able to find the curve for which given line integral must have stationary value or extreme value. So this is the variational principle. Suppose we have 2 particular points on a plane, and we have to find the path between these 2 points. We have different paths to goes from one point to another point in a plane. Suppose we consider these 2 points, that is first point A and the second point is B, and these 2 points on the plane, and we have different paths to follow or we can follow the different paths to goes from point A to B. So if we take this path, these are the different paths which may be goes from point A to B. But what is the shortest path or the line integral for which we have the stationary value for that integral? So for the 2 points on the plane we have the shortest distance, that is a straight line. So the distance covered by this straight line is less as compared to the distance by the, suppose we take here point P, that is curve APB. So this is the application of the variational principle, or we can use variational principle the problems such as this problem. So this is the variational principle. Now we have to see the actual proof of the variational principle. So how we can define the line integral and the line integral for a given curve which has a extreme value or stationary value. So let's start. Suppose we consider, or suppose we define some function f and the 2 points which lie on the plane. So let's start. let us have a function that is f. That is, f is nothing but the, again it is a function of f is a function of y prime and x, and which is defined on a curve, and this curve is given by y of x. That is, y is equal to y of x. First we have to take one curve, and we define the curve such as y is equal to y of x, and we have to again consider the function f such that f is a function of y prime and x. After that we have to define the 2 points, that is a which is a function of again x1 y1, and the second point is a b which is again function of x2 and y2. So these 2 points. So we have defined all these. Let us have a function f which is function of y prime x defined on a curve, and the function of the curve denoted as a y is equal to y of x between 2 points, that is a, and a is a function of x1 y1, and b which is a function of x2 y2. Here y prime is nothing but the y prime is equal to dy by dx. This is the y prime, and again we have to apply the variational principle for this problem. So we are interested to find out a particular curve. We are interested to find out a particular curve y of x for which the line integral I of the function f between 2 points I is equal to, it vary from x1 to x2, and function that is f is a function of y prime and x into dx. This is the equation number 1, and which has stationary value. So this is our main problem for the variational principle, or with the help of this we can prove the variational principle. We define all this term, and with the help of we are able to prove the variational principle. We have to prove only the integral, that is a line integral which vary from x1 to x2, f of y prime x into dx has a stationary value. So let's start with the proof. So first have, suppose that a p b be the curve for which I is stationary. We define the APB curve such that the value of I is stationary. Now after that we have to again consider the different curve such as AP prime B, and we have to consider the same endpoint of the both these curve. So let's consider another curve, and which is a neighboring to the curve APB. So consider another curve AP prime B, and keeping x coordinate constant. Of point P prime. So we have the point P, that is P is nothing but the function of x and y, and this is on the curve APB, right? And after that we define the another curve which is neighboring to the APB, which is the AP prime B. So P prime is nothing but the x y plus delta y, and which is on the curve AP prime B, right? Y plus delta y coordinate, because we kept the, or we keeping the x coordinate constant of P prime. That means the x coordinate for the P and P prime is the same, only we vary the y coordinate, that is we take the variation in the y coordinate, it's nothing but the delta y. So all this situation in the problem we can represent all this situation in the form of figure. So we can draw figure such as, if we take xy axis, that is a one plane, that is a y x, and we define 2 points, suppose A point and B point, and we draw the curve from point A to B. Suppose this is the A point, and A is a function of x1 and y1, and B is a function of x2 y2. We have already defined. So suppose we take first curve, that is this curve, and the second curve is nothing but this curve. Suppose first curve is nothing but the APB, and the second curve is the AP prime B. So these all are the two curves, and for these two curves we kept x coordinate constant, and we can vary only y coordinate. So the variation in the y is nothing but the delta y. So for the curve, the coordinates for the curve APB, the coordinate of P is nothing but the x and y, and for the coordinate, so for the point P prime, the coordinates are x and y plus delta y. So this is the situation. Now after that we have to define the delta variation from that, because we vary only y coordinate. So the delta variation, so this all these things defines the delta variation, that is delta variation of the points fixed of the 2 points fixed. This is nothing but the delta variation. Now we have to consider the variation is arbitrary and very small. So we can express the delta y in the form of another variable, that is a small change in the y coordinate, and which can express we can express this change in the form of another variable. So, and this variable is the, or which is independent on x. So let's consider the variation is arbitrary and small. So we can express delta y such as delta y is equal to dabba y by dabba alpha into delta alpha. It's nothing but the eta of x into delta alpha, where eta of x is equal to dabba y by dabba alpha. We can express delta y such as delta y by delta alpha into, dabba y by dabba alpha into delta alpha, because variation is very small and arbitrary. And also again we define the dabba y by dabba alpha as eta x, where alpha is a parameter alpha is a parameter which is independent of x. We take the x variable, and also we have defined the alpha parameter and which is independent of x, and the alpha is common to all points of the path, and eta of x is a function of x such that delta y1 is equal to delta y2 is equal to eta of x1 is equal to eta of x2, which is equal to 0. And this is the equation number, this is the equation second, and this is the equation third. So these all are the two equations. This define the variation in a delta, and this variation is a small, so we can write delta y like this, and after that again we define the parameter alpha, and which is independent of x, and also we define the eta of x is equal to dabba y by dabba alpha, and we have the condition on eta of x such that delta of y1 delta of y2 is equal to eta 1 of x1 is equal to eta 2 of x2 is equal to 0, because we fix these 2 points in a plane, that is a and b, and the variation in delta y1 delta y2 and eta 1 of x1 and eta 1 of x2, at x1 and x2 eta vanishes because these 2 points are fixed. So at the x1 and x2 the eta 1 of x1 and eta vanishes, and also delta y1 and delta y2 vanishes because at y1 and y2 the variation is 0. So these terms vanishes. So this is the equation number 3. Now after that we have to consider the another parameter, like we define the eta of x such that this condition must be satisfied. Now we have to define another parameter such as eta prime of x, and again this eta prime of x varies with the parameter alpha. So let's start with that. So by choosing different parameters of eta of x, we can choose different curves or different varied paths. So varied paths we can choose with the help of eta of x. Suppose the corresponding variation in a y prime is given by delta of y prime is equal to eta prime of x into delta alpha. Similarly, for the y is equal to y of x curve, we define the delta y. Similarly, for the y prime curve, we define the variation, that is delta y prime is equal to eta prime of x delta alpha, such as here eta prime of x is equal to dabba y prime by dabba alpha. Again alpha is a arbitrary constant or parameter which is independent on x. So this is the y prime curve, and this is the equation number 4. Now these all are the different curves, but for the proof of variational principle we consider only 2 curves, and we can generalize this for the different curves. So only we consider the 2 curves, that is y prime, and after that we will get the proof of the variational principle, and this proof we can extend for the nth paths. Now in a variational principle we have to show that the line integral for the curve has a stationary value. So we have to define first the line integral. So the integral on the varied path. The integral on the varied path is given by I prime is equal to x1 x2 integration vary from x1 to x2 f of y plus delta y prime plus delta y prime and x into dx. This is the equation number 5. So this is the equation number 5. Here we define the line integral for the varied path, that is I prime is equal to integration vary from x1 to x2. F is a function of again y plus delta y prime plus delta y prime and x into dx. First we define the line integral for only single path, that is the curve which is a function of x only, that is y is equal to y of x, and we define the integral, that is I is equal to integration vary from x1 to x2 f of y prime x into dx. This is only for the curve, that is y of x. Now we define the integral for the another curve or the integral on a varied path, which is the I prime is equal to integration vary from x1 to x2 f of f into dx, and this is the equation number 5. Now after that we can write this equation from the equation, that is equation number 2. So we can write this equation such as I prime is equal to integration vary from x1 to x2 f is a function of again y, f is a function of y, and for the delta y we can replace delta y such as eta of x into delta alpha, that is eta of x into delta alpha. We know the value of delta y from the equation number 2, so we substitute the value of delta y in this equation. So delta y is the eta of x into delta alpha. Similarly the value of delta y prime is the eta prime x into delta alpha. So we substitute this value, so y prime plus eta prime delta alpha and x is as it is into dx. This is the equation number 6, and this equation we can write from equation 2 and equation number 4. So we get this line integral for the varied path. Since we take the variation is very small, the line integral I prime may be obtained by considering only first order terms. Suppose we expand the function f of y plus eta of x into delta x, y prime plus eta prime and x. This function, we define this function on a varied part and we take the variation is very small. So this function we can express in the form of Taylor expansion. We know that the Taylor expansion, that is f of z is equal to f of z naught at a particular point z naught, f of z naught plus f prime z naught into z minus z naught divided by 1 factorial plus f of f double prime z naught z minus z naught bracket square divided by 2 factorial and up to so on. So in this way we can expand the f of z in the form of Taylor expansion. But in our function f of this, we have the variation is very small, so we only consider the first order terms of the Taylor expansion. So we can expand this f such as I prime is equal to, we can direct write function in the integral form, that is we have the I prime integration vary from x1 to x2 in bracket f of y prime x plus tab by f by dabba y into eta delta alpha plus dabba f by dabba y prime eta prime delta alpha into dx. This is the equation number 7, and this equation we can write with the help of Taylor series expansion.